Hello, Devashish Lakshmanath here from Power TV. What is Joram, sir? Because we had seen trailer, the intents and some village and city content were there. What it is meant for?
The film is us trying to raise a lot of questions. It's about that increasing divide between the village slash jungles and the city. It's about us living in these unsustainable lives in the city and even in this room, the kind of technology, the kind of lights, the iron ore and bauxite in this mic. It's coming from somewhere. Someone is paying the price. Someone is losing something for us to gain this. So the film tries to ask these questions, but at its heart, it's a survival chase thriller. We've tried to make a film that's engaging, that's emotional, that's gripping, so that we can reel audiences in and place these questions in their minds and hearts. So it's an attempt to do that.
Is that real incident based movie or what?
Sorry.
Is that real incident based movie or what?
A film that tries to hold up a mirror to the world we live in is based on the real world, but it's not based on real incidents. It's a politic and it's a sociological theme that I return to many times in my work. I've lived in these areas, I've traveled these areas for almost 20 years. I've written a lot of stories, made a lot of short films around it. My first film, Unga, was around the same themes. So it comes from a reservoir of reality, but not specifically on a medium themes. The advantage and disadvantage of working with an artist like Manoj sir for 10 years is that he answers for you and has nothing else to say. He literally has embodied a lot of things that I feel and I believe over 3 films in 10 years. This particular film, when you're saying that there have been allegations against such minority groups, I just keep trying to check myself and I keep trying to tell people in the classes where I stay, and I'm very guilty about my privilege, and that's why I try to tell these stories. It's that these words are part of the problem, where we create something called the mainstream in which we are living, and then we say everyone who's not in the mainstream and whose voices are not represented are either minorities or marginalized or voiceless. So that perpetuates that cycle of otherizing and pushing minorities and marginalized further and further into margins, because our mainstream is growing and we are constantly eating up the margins. So that the choice of these words also creates a lot of conflict inside me. So there is, I'm not an Adivasi, I am not a minority, and I carry up the guilt of that, but I also try to be very conscious that I can never crack the insider perspective of an Adivasi. So a story like this is my attempt to just bridge that gap between that section whose rights and the things that they own are being taken away for something that only we understand as development. Their point of view or their take on the matter is not even asked for. Until we tell them that, okay, we have defined development and now you need it, so we will give it to you. But for that you have to sign up for what we decide as development. So it's very complex. So somewhere to just incept these ideas into the viewer by engaging, thrilling, hopefully entertaining, because this is a bitter pill to swallow, right? When you want someone to swallow a bitter pill, you sugarcoat it. So it's really that attempt, it's an attempt to do that.